Threading issues. The objective of this lesson is to discuss multi-threading issues. While designing multi-threaded applications, following issues need to take into account. The issues are execution of fork and exec system call. The next issue is thread cancellation, followed by signal handling, and finally the last issue is thread local storage. Fork and exec system call. Process can use fork system call to create a new process. So any process that wants to create a new process can use this system call. The calling process is called parent process. The process that will invoke fork system call, that process is known as parent process. New process is called child process. The process that will be created in result of this fork system call, that process is called child process. Suppose there is a process A and this process invokes fork system call. So what will happen now? A new process will be created. So process B has been created in result of this fork system call. The relationship between these two processes is now parent-child relationship. The process which called fork system call is the parent process, and the newly created process is child process. Child process is the exact memory image of the parent process. This means child process is a replica of parent process. The address space of child process is duplicate of the address space of parent process. Consequently, it also means both parent and child process executes the same program because the address space of child process is a replica of the address space of parent process. So both these processes have the same program loaded in their address space. Hence, they will execute the same program. exec system call used after a fork to replace process memory space with a new program. So a process can use exec system call after fork to load a new program in the address space of child process. New program is mentioned as a parameter to exec system call. So the name of the new program can be mentioned as a parameter to this system call. Now, because a new program has been loaded in the address space of child process, so child is different from the parent. They are not identical to each other. Hence, parent and child executes different programs. The discussion that we have done so far that concerns with a single threaded process, that how fork and exec system call works in a single threaded process. Now let's see what happens in multi-threaded process. A multi-threaded process is a process that has two or more than two threads. So does fork duplicate only the calling thread or all the threads? This means if a thread in multi-threaded process invokes fork system call, what will happen? Will it duplicate only the calling thread, the thread which called fork system call, or all the threads will be replicated in the child process? The scenario is shown in this figure. There is a process A. This process has 3 different threads. Suppose this first thread, this thread invokes fork system call. Now, a new child process will be created. But what happens with these threads? Either all of these 3 threads will be replicated in the child process, or only this thread will be replicated in the child process. So the first possibility is that a child process has been created and all the threads of the parent process have been replicated in the child process. So child process is the exact memory image of the parent process. The second possibility is that a child process has been created. However, only one thread of the parent has been replicated, the thread which invoked the fork system call. The remaining threads, they will not be duplicated in the child process. Hence, some Unix operating systems, they have adopted this version of the fork. That is, either all the threads will be replicated in the child process or only a single thread will be replicated in the child process. So Unix system will duplicate all the threads in the child process. All the threads of the parent process will be copied into the child process. And Unix also supports that only the thread which invoked fork system call, that will be duplicated in the child process. So which version of the fork system call will be used? How we will know that what is happening to the child process? Either it has replicated all the threads of the parent or only a single thread has been replicated. It depends on the application, that which of these 2 versions have been used by the application. If program uses exec system call after fork, then only calling thread is copied. So if this is the case that this system call has been used after fork, then only a single thread will be copied, the thread which has invoked fork system call. It is unnecessary to duplicate other threads. So it is unnecessary to duplicate the remaining threads of the parent process. Why? Because program mentioned as parameter to exec system call will replace the threads. The reason is because we have used exec system call, and what this system call does, it will load a new program into the address space of child process. So it will replace the threads in the child process with this new program. However, if the separate process doesn't use exec system call after fork, then all the threads are copied. So if programmer has not used this system call after fork, in that case, all the threads of the parent process will be copied into the child process. exec system call works in the same way as for single-threaded process. So the behavior of this system call is similar both for single-threaded process as well as for multi-threaded process. The behavior is that this system call loads a new program that will be mentioned as a parameter to the system call into the address space of child process, no matter it is a single-threaded process or multi-threaded process. Thread cancellation. Thread cancellation means terminating a thread before it has finished its execution. So why we would terminate a thread? What is the reason for cancellation? Let's take an example of a database. Suppose there are multiple threads that are running concurrently to search through a database. So these different threads, they are looking for some specific information in the database. Now suppose one thread returns the result and one of these threads, it returns successfully, that it finds the desired information in the database. So other threads have to be cancelled because now we don't need those threads. We have already found the desired information. So we must cancel the threads which are still looking for the information. Another example is of a web browser that loads a web page. A browser process uses multiple threads to load a web page. There might be a thread to render images. Another thread might load text into the browser window, and another thread might be loading the sound files. So a browser process contains multiple threads to load the web page in the browser window. Now, if user presses the stop button, if user presses this button, the stop button, then all the threads loading the page must be cancelled because user wants to stop the process. He doesn't want to load the web page anymore. So he will press this button. And what will happen? All the threads that are loading the page, they will be cancelled. Thread to be cancelled is target thread. This means the thread that we are going to cancel, that is known as target thread. There are two approaches for thread cancellation. The first of these is asynchronous cancellation. Asynchronous cancellation means terminates the target thread immediately. In this approach, target thread will be killed immediately without any delay. The second approach is deferred cancellation. Deferred cancellation allows the target thread to periodically check if it should be cancelled. This means that target thread will not be immediately terminated. Rather, target thread will be allowed to run and target thread will periodically check if it should be cancelled. So target thread will decide that when it will be terminated. Target thread may have resources allocated to it, or it may be in the middle of updating a shared data. So the issue that we have here is that if target thread has been allocated resources, what will happen to these resources if we terminate the thread? And the second issue is that if target thread is updating some shared data and it is in the middle of this operation, what will happen to that shared data? Either it will complete the operation or it will not complete the operation. So let's first see the asynchronous cancellation. That what will happen if we use asynchronous cancellation. When we use asynchronous cancellation, typically operating system reclaims the system resources from the cancelled thread. So operating system will reclaim the resources from the target thread. However, some system-wide resources are not taken back. So operating system will reclaim the resources. However, some system-wide resources will not be taken back. So there will still be resources that have been allocated to the target thread, which we have terminated. As far as the second issue is concerned, the target thread will be immediately terminated because we are using asynchronous cancellation. So if the target thread was updating a shared data and we have killed the target thread, it may leave the data in inconsistent state. So because we have terminated the target thread immediately while it was in the middle of this update operation, so it may leave the data in inconsistent state. So if we use deferred cancellation, what will happen? If we use deferred cancellation, one thread indicates the target thread that has to be cancelled. So target thread is indicated by a thread. Cancellation occurs only after the target thread has checked a flag to determine whether or not it should be cancelled. So because we are using deferred cancellation, so target thread will not be immediately cancelled. Rather, target thread will check a flag, and this flag will determine whether the target thread should be terminated or it should not be terminated. So the value of this flag will determine about the cancellation decision, that when this thread should be cancelled. The thread can perform this check at a point at which it can be cancelled safely. This means target thread can set the value of this flag. It can check at a point. This means it can set the value of this flag to indicate that it can be cancelled safely. So target thread will, if target thread is performing an update operation, it will not allow itself to be cancelled. It will see that when it is safe to terminate the target thread, and when it feels that it has completed the operation, then it will change the value of this flag. It will set the value of this flag. And when the value has been set for this flag, then this thread can be cancelled safely because now it has completed the update operation and its cancellation will not leave the data in inconsistent state. And likewise, all the resources that have been allocated to this thread, they will be reclaimed back without any conflict. Now, keeping in view that which of these two schemes is best or should be adopted, we can see that there are two limitations that are associated with asynchronous cancellation. That is, some system-wide resources are not taken back. Moreover, it may leave the data in inconsistent state. So this asynchronous cancellation is not a better choice. Now we can see that deferred cancellation is a best way to deal with these two issues. That is, to reclaim the resources back from the target thread, as well as if it is performing some update operation on shared data.